We open on this death fight. We're at this place called the Arena. Is this going to be a 3-on-1 situation? I don't know, but we got this Chuck Norris meets Bruce Lee looking guy. I'm going to call him Chuck Lee for right now. It turns out that the three possible opponents, they have to do a little bird dance. Hey, do you want my pole? Hey, do you want my nunchuck? Hey, do you want my stick? While this is going on, we see a bunch of guys, VIP booth. He's welcoming and entertaining a bunch of new people. We get this quick shot of a lady in the audience snapping photos, but that don't last too long. All right, this is like a tool show. Somebody comes right by, snatches this chick away. Chuck Lee guy.
You went to a tool show and they were snatching ladies?
Yeah, dude. The ratio's got to be like 99 dudes to one lady. So if there's too many ladies mixed up, they're like, oh, man.
Still sounds like a lot of ladies at a tool show, to be honest.
I mean, they're dragged there, right? Mm-hmm. That's what the security guards are going to do. They're like going to pull them into a hallway. Like, we're going to assume that you were brought here by your husband or boyfriend, right? Or husband or fiance, because this isn't a you're just dating sort of situation. And if she says, no, I'm here with my girlfriends, they're like, no, let me know that that's a lie. That's a call for help. That's like ordering,
Ticket price is too high for
trying to order a pizza from 911. They know that this is bullshit. Anyway, Chuck Lee.
I get all my pizzas delivered.
Chuck Lee decides to fight this pole guy.
I need the pizza fast, man.
You guys got
they'll get the hint.
Run code. Come on.
Yeah, they'll get it.
Run that PH, that Pizza Hut.
Pole guy, Chuck Lee, they go at it. Did you guys notice how dirty these fucking mats are?
Yeah, but it's like as dirty as everything else in the movie. So.
Fair enough. But these specifically feel like the one thing maybe you'd want to bleach down.
Nah, you got to get the smell, Authenticity. How do you say that?
Don't they?
It's thick enough in the air.
When they had like WWE pay-per-views, would they leave the blood on the ring, like from a previous match?
I think
Owen Hart didn't, clean it up himself.
Fucking lazy bastard.
Rude ass.
Yeah.
I think they would leave it though.
Yeah, but wouldn't they bleach it?
I think it stains. I think they probably cleaned it up.
Yeah, they'd like smear it out, but yeah. I mean, you'd be watching, Stone Cold, and you'd be like, "That's Jeff Hardy's blood, dude."
Who's Jeff Hardy?
You don't know who Jeff Hardy is?
No. Was he the blonde one or the
Hardy Boys?
Fishnets on their elbows?
Yeah, they were always fighting the Dudley Boys in table, ladder, chair matches.
Who are the Dudley Boys?
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
If Kron is the Dudley Boys, I think Dan is the Hardy Boys, right?
Yeah. I don't drink and drive that much. Come on. You guys want to hear me sing?
And I think I'm
Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
No.
I'm the
Who's that guy? You're like Bradshaw.
I'm DX.
JBL.
Yeah, you're JBL, dude.
I don't get the reference.
That's a huge insult.
Oh, of course it would be.
I don't think that's an insult. The dude was fucking buffed out, dude.
All right. Chuck is kicking this poor guy's ass in the arena. This guy finally goes for his pole, but Chuck turns the table, gets this dude sweet fucking impalement, lifts this dude up into the air. Guy falls. He takes his dog tags. That's right, we're watching Firecracker. We get literal firecrackers being set off. Our hero doing a kata during the credits. And speaking of credits, you're listening to 5 Day Rentals, the video store podcast on the run. My name is Bones. We're doing stuff a little different. We're moving quick today for Double the Ass Cut the Runtime. This is the climactic conclusion. My selection. I'm joined as always by Laundry Dan Kron Howard. Dudes, how are you?
Howdy.
I've had better weeks.
Yeah. I feel like a bad friend for not texting you, but
That's fine.
when I just assumed you weren't active in our text thread, but when I see you in the Discord,
Yeah,
you know,
but
I have no reason
by
that that's
Thursday
been
I was
hacked.
kind of back. So
Maybe we just have too many forms of communication.
yeah,
Interesting.
we should just start sending each other.
Your
fucking,
message is
postcards?
all you. If you want to do that, you do that.
I'm gonna start writing you letters, Dan.
That'd be kind of funny.
Dearest Daniel,
You'd give up after the first one.
the hogs are dead.
Writing a letter sucks now. Shit takes forever.
I wouldn't give up, though.
The hogs are dead.
Hmm.
The tree where mom is buried finally starting to die. I ain't got enough money to get a cutter out here to take care of it proper. If you want to see that maple one last time, I would suggest you make the trek out here.
Mosey on over.
Come back from the Philippines. From their fighting championships.
Never, dude. I can't wait to expat. I'm going to be in so many goddamn bar fights.
I pick somewhere less humid, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend my final year sweating every
don't-
day.
You got to fight all the time.
I ain't got the blood for it.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, first time watch for Firecracker?
Yes.
Yeah, I did have the flu when I tried to watch this, and I kept falling asleep. And every time I woke up, I was like, I guess this lady's just fighting more people now. That's kind of the movie, though.
Movie fucking delivers.
Eh,
In terms of fighting,
there's a lot of fighting.
is the overall story coherent? Yes. Is it satisfying? I don't know. Dan, does it meet the qualifications of the category?
That's an interesting question.
That's a good question. If the category was double the kick-ass, yes. But I would say yes, this does meet the criteria. There is a scene we'll get to that it's pretty good.
I mean, you gotta
think
go
there's-
good 45 minutes into this thing before you get...
I think there's two scenes that qualify for the double the ass element. I think the fact that it was sort of branded as an erotic martial arts movie, it's justified. And then we're going to get to a quick opening thing that's a little fun.
It works. I'll say that much.
Okay.
You're not in trouble.
But you're disappointed.
I'm not disappointed. I'm never disappointed in either of you.
Get that drop.
Yeah, this is the exact opposite of what you tell me in private, dude.
I'm never disappointed in either of you. I'm always disappointed.
Well, let's kick ass. Keep going. Let's get a rate my letterbox on this bad boy. User average rating 3.0.
I feel like Bones is right there. I'm going to give Bones a 3.0 on Firecracker.
I'm going to go 3.5.
Why is it even called Firecracker?
Because she's a fucking explosive little thing, dude. You can't hold her in your hand.
It's a cool logo.
Yeah.
Good intro.
Could have called the movie Atomic Blonde.
I never finished that movie.
I never started it.
Yeah. I've never even heard of it. I made it up for this joke.
No, it's a real movie.
He
I know
knows.
it is.
He just doubled down on your ass, dude.
It's not fake like wrestling.
Dude, you watch Mick Foley dive off of a Hell in the Cell. How you fake
And you
that?
call me back.
How do you fake that?
You write me a long-ass handwritten letter.
Oh, God.
All right, let's keep going. Post-credits, we get a plane arriving. See this fine blonde woman walk into a hotel. She checks in as Susanna Carter. Two goons clock her in the lobby. They follow her upstairs to her room. They sneak in, start rooting around to rob her. She comes out of the bathroom in her undies and absolutely kicks their ass. One into the table, the other one into the TV, and finally, one of them through a wall. She gets a ride into, now, forgive me, a character does pronounce this later, but his pronunciation throughout the entire film is hysterical, yet I am pussyfooted enough to not attempt it.
Do the voice.
Olongapo City.
That sounds right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I felt like he said Olongapo is like the way he pronounced it. But
Yeah.
I have no clue what's right.
There are two particular dubs in this movie that make me laugh. His, not so much. His just mannerisms, his whole vibe is funny, and we'll get into that. But she gets a ride into the city. She goes into this local bar. Our bartender is expat named Pete. He's very polite.
Hell yeah.
Susanna asks about a Vanessa Goodman. Pete says Vanessa rents a room from him, but she hasn't been around for weeks. In fact, he's been trying to give her a goddamn telegram for a while. Susie gets excited.
The bitch hasn't paid me.
Says, that's for me. Vanessa's a cover. Her real name's Bonnie.
Isn't there like a big guy sidekick in Kickboxer that looks like this guy?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, that's what I was thinking.
Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a very similar character and country setting. And
Yeah.
I don't know if they just watched it and they were like, let's have a guy like that in our movie too.
It's a big guy, maybe not super, he's got like heft, but he's not maybe like, he doesn't have a lot of definition. He's going to wear a tank top because he's sweating. We're going to throw a headband
He didn't
in
make
there.
the 52-man roster, and he's like, oh, they're doing films in the Philippines? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a build like he can fight good, but he drinks 14 beers every day or something.
You just described to me.
Yeah. Well, you can't fight very good.
But I could fucking drink 14 beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I watched 2 other movies by this guy. I watched, and this is the same bar that they have in Vampire Hookers. Exact same.
He must own it, the guy who makes it.
He might.
Well, I mean, if you're going to use it more than twice, you may as well own it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, I wonder how many times this is in. But there's even more San Francisco posters in Vampire Hookers,
Okay.
if you're interested.
What year was that?
Fuck.
Because I wonder if he was shooting one in the day, and I mean, the vampire movie, you knock that one out at night. That's easy.
All right. Pete calls for a guy named Ray
78.
to take Susie up to that room. Sure enough, that's where that telegram is. They go downstairs. Pete is in a fucking bar fight with the entire bar.
Yeah, everyone attacked him at once.
Everyone is attacking Pete. He gets dogpiled by 8+ guys. You get this awesome, like, "Ruh," and he throws them all off. And Ray and Susie, being nice, just jump in and start kicking ass. I don't think this fight has anything to do with anything.
Mm-mm.
I think it was just like, oh, fuck, we gotta maintain the ratio here. This isn't a Tool concert. We need a fight. It's definitely not a stunt double doing the flips for Susie, so don't
Be an asshole.
don't look close at that. It's not a guy in a in a set of coveralls and a more silver wig than blonde.
It's not a Filipino man in a silver.
It's not Ray.
Looked like Storm was flipping around out there.
Yeah. Ray and Pete, they're equally badass as Susie. You lose count of how many goons that they take out. Pete asks Susie, he just says to her, like, hey, you're okay. She asks how all this happened, and he's like, hey, they're looking for trouble. Let's give it to them. Goddamn. That's all the dialogue I need to justify a fight. All right, Pete is not too worried about Bonnie missing, but Susie says that it's suspicious that she went anywhere without her camera. And she's also doubly warned because Bonnie called her and warned her that she was getting into some shit. That's why she's here. Pete takes the camera. He develops some of the photos. One of them is Chuck Donner. That's our Chuck Lee guy. What luck. They tell her he's bad news. He works for Eric Stollard at the arena. Drugs, women, gambling. You don't want to meet him.
The coolest lion clothing you'll ever see.
Yep. Guess again, Susie says. She goes directly to the arena. Got some
That's my shit. I want that dude.
big demonstration. We see Chuck at a booth with some honeys. Eric, though, we saw a little glimpse of him in that VIP box in the opening of the movie. He spots Susie, he fucking waves Chuck over. He wants her to go check her out. Eric's voice in this is incredible.
It's the best.
A woman who walks into my place like she's looking for something is not just another dame. So Chuck goes over. He tries to kind of kick her out. He's like, this isn't a place for you. She calls his bluff. We cut ahead. He's taking a seat at this point, and he's just like, so you're a black belt? She's like, yeah, I'm in town looking for a place to work out, and I heard about you. Heard about this place. If I can get paid while doing it, so much better.
What is this place? It's like fancy dinner. Like you have to dress up to go. And then there's this. No, it's like, I think it's like a supper club.
This is the entertainment hub of Olongapaca City, dude.
It's a restaurant, but there's also with a dress code, but there's also karate fights that happen there.
Yeah. It's the
Death
Alamo
fights.
Draft House of MMA.
I don't think that's not the same place where they do the death fights.
It's not?
I think
No,
it's
because
I
the
think
death
it's
fights is like
connected.
that cage.
Yeah, but I think it's all one.
I think it's
thing.
connected.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You're eating a fucking
I don't-
lamb chop while some guy's getting.
I'm saying they're two different like
Clientele.
layouts. They're two different
Okay.
layouts
There's
in
a
the
wall
same
that separates.
location. Yeah.
Okay, I could go with that.
You remember, like, it's not the high school you guys graduated from, but we had old gym and new gym, right? Like, this would be, like you said, this is the banquet area, demonstration area. Maybe on the other side of administration is the arena.
I'll tell you what, the steak is delicious, but the screams are terrible.
So Chuck, he kind of calls her bluff on this, and he coordinates with Eric to he wants to,
And just to be clear, all the members of 5 Day Rentals graduated from high school. That wasn't a joke.
Yeah, I didn't
Did
find
okay.
a bunch of blanks and print my own.
I didn't hire a guy that sort of looked like me to wear my cap and gown and go across the stage.
I didn't receive mine, and when I got home, looked at it, and it didn't have a name on it.
Do you guys still have that little laminated wallet diploma
My wife does.
that they gave it?
I don't.
There's no way.
I've never needed to show a job that, but I'll be damned if that's not sitting next to my social security card.
Kron, do you even know where your diploma is?
For high school? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where my actual diploma is. I just thought, like, if I'm going to pick one, let me just hold on to this one, the wallet-sized one.
Were you guys there? It might have been after you both graduated. In the yearbook, that guy slipped in reduced fuck milk. Do you remember that? That must have been after you guys did.
I remember that.
I'm not that old.
I still think about that.
He's from your class, wasn't he?
I thought he was a grade above me, but I can't remember.
How you mean he slipped in the name reduced
So
fuck milk?
there was like a picture of a lunch tray, and on the milk where it said reduced fat milk, he went in there and photoshopped fat to fuck. So in the yearbook it says reduced fuck milk.
I think you might have showed me that.
It's cool as hell, dude. Fucking legend.
That's pretty. So you like went through that yearbook?
Somebody told me about it.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't scanning every page of the...
Dude,
Looking-
you should have seen his yearbook. It had hearts like around chicks and dudes.
Hmm? You were so mad you didn't get any hearts, dude.
I was already out of there, dude.
Well, I put in a supplemental schedule and you had no hearts.
My page was on your bathroom wall.
I bet the guy who did it, like the day the yearbooks came out, was like, check out page, whatever. Put a little surprise in there.
All right. Chuck wants to show
I didn't scan the
Susie.
yearbook, though. I'm some
Okay.
loser.
Why is it open on your floor over there?
Well, I was thinking about it. It's funny.
He wants to show her that this arena is some serious shit, so he has Eric put on a more serious bout up on the stage. No holds barred. One of
They
these
say
dudes.
that, but it didn't look like any crazy illegal holds to me. Nobody was like twisting a dick or anything like that.
Well, what's illegal in a death fight?
but this is not the death fight. This
No.
is like the dinner club.
But it's no holds barred, so Bruno's allowed to break this guy's arm.
Yeah. It's just, it would have been nice if they, put somebody through a table or something. If they're going to say that.
Have you ever got to the point where you're like, maybe I'm watching too much ECW?
No.
Okay, just asking.
Sitting back, flipping through your yearbook, watching an ECW. Life's good, man.
I'm going to eat a bullet soon, dude. I peaked so long ago.
All right. So Bruno is one of the fighters on stage. He loves this arm bar. I think he makes 3 attempts before he snaps this guy's arm. Chuck says that he's got $500 that Susie couldn't last 3 minutes with Bruno. Rack 'em up, she says. Susie is allowed to fight. Her and Bruno, they go at it. Susie kicks him off the stage pretty quickly. Pretty much works him the whole fight. Ends up getting Bruno into his own arm bar. Crowd loves it. Chuck is suspicious, though. She says, I'm just trying to pay the rent. He gives it a classic, don't call us, we'll call you. Ray shows up, gives Susie a ride. That's how she gets out of there. Eric, he's also not too convinced. He orders Chuck to go a little further, follow her, figure out what the fuck's going on. We should also note that there's another guy in the booth with Eric, and and Eric has like a steady chick. Come back to these people later, but they're set up here.
Isn't there a part in this scene too when he's talking about her and Eric, or I can't remember who, somebody is like, she owns a dojo in LA and she has 6 black belts?
I think, yeah, somebody says that.
Do you just keep, I thought black belt was like, that's it. Like
But
you're at
in different styles, maybe?
Yeah.
So she's got one in like
Jiu-jitsu,
karate and
karate,
Judo,
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Okay, I can go with that. I thought she just kept defeating the fucking test.
You know, you get an S+, but you still keep trying to get that time down.
Yeah, I could shave a couple more minutes off.
Yeah. Or you throw like, let me do a no damage run, or let me do a handguns only, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cut to Susie talking with Pete and Ray. Ray has a plan that could maybe help get Susie some cover. He asks her if she knows anything about arnis, the Filipino stick fighting method. That could be her cover. She could say that she's here in the Philippines to practice that. Chuck shows up. Pete's like, what the fuck are you doing over here? He's like, don't worry, I'm not here for you. I'm here for the babe.
Isn't it crazy that in the 80s you could just make karate a career?
God.
I'm
So
going into
jealous.
karate.
So jealous.
Somebody's still doing it now, right?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's not like he's making $105K a year, you know.
Well, I mean, if you're the best,
If you're the best, you better be getting paid more than that.
you got to earn it. I mean, how in demand is karate?
Today?
Yeah, I just mean like who's paying you to do karate?
There's like tournaments and stuff, I'm sure, right? Still.
I mean,
I
isn't
imagine karate's probably you getting paid to be a teacher.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Yeah.
MMA more.
You got to make sure like your students are winning at the Valley tournament though. Like if you want to be getting 105 a year.
Mm.
If you want to be franchised out.
What was Gracie? Those dudes were MMA, jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were. That was like early MMA, right?
Yeah. Chuck takes Susie out for a succulent Filipino meal. Over the meal, he says that he's just here to check on her credentials. But back at Eric's office, cut to Chuck meeting with Eric and Grip. That's the other guy in this operation that we're going to come to love. Grip doesn't like this Susie situation. Chuck says that he thinks she's clean. He thinks that she could add some color to the place. I think this is where he lists off all of her achievements and shit. Eric asks Grip about another situation. Grip says that his contacts will have the merchandise available as long as Loverboy Chuck here gets the money to them in time. That's enough out of both of you. Or get your asses out of here. Eric's lady, she even voices some concern about this new girl. Ray takes Susie via dirt bike into the mountains up to the Arnis training temple. It's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Some old dude, he comes out. Ray introduces them. Susie says that she wishes to learn Arnis to complete her knowledge of the martial arts.
Trying to get that 7th black belt, dude.
The old dude's wise. He's like, the fruits of wisdom fall in different places at different times. Kind of just meanders around some other guy's training. And he points out, hey, if these sticks were meant for killing, they would have sharp edges. She says, I get it. I'm in. Eric's getting a shot of his Ozempic from his babe. She keeps pushing about the business.
Oh, that was heroin.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty sure
yeah.
it's heroin.
I just assume now. Sorry. She's asking why Chuck and Grip are around. Eric says that
they kind of have the same effect, right?
Slow your metabolism.
You do both of them right, you'll lose weight.
I think I don't think it slows your metabolism. I just think you don't eat anything if you're doing heroin. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck Ozempic does. At least I know what heroin's setting out to do.
Yeah. We've got decades of research on heroin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need some other studies before I trust these GLP-1s. All right. It's a complicated situation that Eric has with Grip, okay? And Chuck. Grip is his connection to these heroin suppliers. But Chuck is there to sort of watch Grip. Okay.
That's as much as I could.
Yeah.
I thought Chuck was just like his deathmatch like dude, like his bet.
Oh, I mean, a number one, but why he keeps him like involved in the heroin operation.
Okay.
But we're going to come to find out why she asks these questions fucking over and over. And I guess the fact that he's a heroin addict just means like she's probably asked him 20 times. So he's like, didn't you? Oh, fuck, you know. Why you always asking me the same fucking question? Oh, shit. Yeah. Her recommendation to Eric, though, is you got to bypass Grip. It's time for you to figure out how to get in contact with these suppliers directly. Cut to the arena. Chuck is out doing some errands, though. He's got a tucked-in shirt. He's got a little camera bag. He's walking through these markets. We see Susie following him as well. But then we also see this other group of dudes. They're following Susie. Two of them take off. They try to grab her. She fights them off and continues after Chuck. But Chuck hops in a boat, takes off. Susie gets cornered again by some of these other goons. She fights him off for another round. She finally gets stopped at gunpoint. I was hoping this wouldn't be necessary. Susie says, I could scream and call for the police, you know. And this guy says, I am the police. This is Tony. Cut to this cop, Tony, driving Susie around, telling her to back off Chuck Donner. This cop, he has no idea where Bonnie is, but he asks again, and he tells her rather, if you keep intervening, then I'm not going to be able to solve this case. Now, Chuck was on the meetup. He meets up with Grip for the handoff. It's at this big parade. Chuck's like, I don't like this whole thing. Out in the open like this, what the hell?
I agreed with Chuck. I hated this shot of the movie of this guy just this fucking mask. It's like right in the
side of the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Fiesta, dude. Come on.
Yeah, but why is that guy moving? Why is he eating up a third of the frame?
You like that guy in a mask and Poison Ivy too.
Yeah.
All right. Chuck hands
the cello guy.
Yeah. Chuck hands the cash over. Grip goes on, inside to this like little cute little shop owner who gives him this creepy little ceremonial mask with a bunch of heroin inside. Cut to the road that Grip and his convoy are driving across. It goes over this like dam, like spillway thing. It's kind of a cool little place.
It's a cool location. I mean, it makes the shot at least have some kind of like dynamic thing happening in it.
Yeah, there's two cars. Grip's in the back. Chuck is up in the woods though, and he's got a damn like small platoon of goons. And he says, I just want you to scare them and grab the stuff. As they hide, Grip's cars, they drive further across the spillway. These guys start opening fire. The first car, all those guys get out. They get killed. Grip's in the second car. He comes out. his lackey's also in that car. They like dive into the water and swim away. And Grip, he's got nothing to, he just fucking does the same. Because they also get blocked because like a Jeep comes from behind them. Kind of flanks him and blocks him in.
I feel like nobody followed the orders, though. They slaughter half this guy's men.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're trying to just scare him. If these guys walk in front of the bullets,
Yeah.
that's on them. You know, they could say, Chuck, we didn't shoot at the car.
Mm-hmm. It is also just a bad strategy of like, we're only going to scare them. So I got 20 of my friends to open fire on their vehicles.
Yeah. And I like that one of Chuck's goons to open up the back of the car, just like they just fucking empty a magazine into the trunk to be able to open it. But yeah, man, fucking Chuck just ripped Grip off. What the hell? So Grip shows up to the arena to report that he lost the shipment. Eric orders Grip to go hit the streets. I want that shipment, and I want the bastards that ripped me off. Chuck's out for a run again.
Oh, wait. That scene has my favorite Eric line when he walks in and he tells Grip, like, I told you never to bother me when I'm ranking my fighters.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. He's got the killer instinct. I know it.
Fighters fight to the death. Everything else is a game. All right. Chuck's out for a run. The continuing pattern of Chuck going around the city and Susie following continues. This time she's in like a buggy being pulled by a mule. But this car blocks her. Bunch of guys get out. They try to grab her. She fights them off and runs away into this workshop. They pursue. More fighting. But she finally does get taken. You know, it's like a dozen dudes finally. They get a grip on her. Oh. How fitting. Because these are all Grip's goons. They got her in this ring.
360, dude.
He's got some damn questions, but she's not playing ball. He pulls out a box. It's got a damn Filipino cobra in it. He says, this is my truth serum. He sets the box down on the ground, starts asking her about the ambush. She denies being there. She says that she's here to learn the harness technique, denies working with or for the police. Grip keeps pushing. He's like, had enough. He finally releases this cobra. But Susie's so fucking fast, man. She just grabs the cobra, does a sweet backflip, I don't know, 12 feet into the air, up onto the top of like the fence of the cage. It's certainly not a front flip back, like in reverse.
No way, dude.
No. Don't look that hard.
She just throws a snake at Grip. He's wrapped up like it's a fucking scarf. He's freaking out. He bolts in a panic. She starts fighting her way through. Chuck shows up, though.
Giant arena. Just run away from the snake.
You never turn your back on a snake.
If somebody threw a snake on me, I think I'd freak out.
Mm-hmm. Certainly a Filipino cobra.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of things I don't want to be telling the truth about.
Watch your mailbox, boys.
That's why you got to start practicing to backflip 12 feet into the air.
No. I could probably launch 8 Filipino dudes off of me, but I don't know if I could do this backflip. She's already kicked enough ass, though, by the time Chuck shows up. She makes a little pun here. I had to snake my way through. He takes her back to his place for a drink. He's persistent in his smooches, but she's going to make him wait. He's kind of into it. He likes the game.
Yeah, but he says not too long.
I'm patient, but not that patient.
Eric's place. I think this when they're playing chess. His lady's asking about Grip attempting to question Susie, and Chuck stepping in. Eric says that he wants Susie in the arena. She's got killer instincts. He can sense it. Oh, no, I think this is when he's practicing. He's like in the gear and fighting, and then he's like, hold up, I'm going to go get a drink. So he, like, in the middle of his practice, goes and has a cocktail and then goes back into practice. And once you learn how to kill, you'll never get a chance except for a war or a fight to the death. Chuck's... he decides to give Susie a tour of the training compound. It's pretty cool. It's like some sort of old World War II armaments, like some big rusted guns, some like fortified walls that these guys are training around. Cut to Chuck and Susie. They're sparring in front of a class, but Chuck does get the best of her. Eric wants her brought to the fights tonight. Eric's got a variety of goons in his VIP box. Our boy Bruno's back in the ring. He's still trying for that arm break. Come on, dude. Get another move. He finally ends up...
He's got to perfect that one before he can move on.
So he has to give up on this. He eventually... I couldn't tell if he broke his opponent's neck or he just choked the dude out. It seemed too quick for a choke out. But crowd loves it. They go nuts. Eric asks Susie, who's up in the box with him, like, if this is something that she wants to get into. A true fighter fights to kill. Otherwise, it's only a game. Susie's on her way back to her place. She gets out of a cab. As she's... Now, this I don't get. I guess she ran out of money or didn't want the cab driver to know where she's staying because he has her drop... Or she has him drop off like 3 blocks before where she needs to go because... She just keeps walking down the street.
Well, she gets jumped everywhere she goes.
Yeah. I would think.
But that all the more reason to be dropped directly at your door.
Yeah. You need to like call ahead and have Ray wait on the street for you.
Mm-hmm.
But she starts getting some harassed by some street toughs. She's in heels and this nice little dress, but she starts running away. These guys persist. As this goes on, I'm pretty sure this is like a bad rip of Planet Claire by the B-52s.
It is.
I was like, I recognize this, and I think somebody in a Letterboxd review called this out. So as she's running away, she gets like the bottom part of her dress stuck on a chain link fence, and it rips off.
Now we're talking.
It just periodically, as she goes further and further away from them, she starts losing clothing. She gets the attention.
Right about the time that this does happen in the movie. It's record time right now.
Yeah. Making good time.
Don't they also, like, she runs up first and there's like a security guard?
Yeah, he's a cop or a security guard. And he immediately is like, I'm going to help this lady, and pulls his gun out.
Yeah. And then they just like insta-kill him.
Oh, yeah. They just step right to the dude, kick him. He falls onto a sickle. And then one of the guys just like stomp on his chest. This dude's just impaled and dead.
She works all these other guys.
Yeah.
Why can't she get... What is the difference with these two?
These two aren't even trained, it seems like. Like, they're just goons. They're just like street guys.
Maybe she's fucking hammered. She's been drinking at the fights, dude. She's finally down to her underwear. She cuts up into this like building. She's running through this hallway. She finally dumps her heels. At this point, I think she's like, all right, I'm going to engage with them. She starts taunting them. Back down into that workshop. She kicks one of these dudes into a miter saw that he kicks and turns on. Pretty cool.
I can't even figure out what this location is. There's like power tools. There's a security guard that I'm not really sure what he's even guarding. The saw, maybe, and the sickle.
Kron, it's an economy. That's what it's called. It's manufacturing. It's goods.
He's going to be so confused when we go on tour in the Philippines.
Yeah.
What
I
is
will
this
be.
place?
Fuck is all this shit?
What is this?
Why is
There's
I'm
table.
sweating.
There's chairs. There's a pool table over there.
Is this a
What is this
sawmill
place?
or a bar? Like, what is this?
This other guy cares about his buddy, though. He's like, what the hell? Now he's fucking pissed. He grabs a little hand sickle, starts slicing at Susie. He catches her bra. Boom. Babies pop out. She's now topless. She kicks this guy's ass with a broom handle. And when the guy's knocked out, she just walks away, and we take a pee break. All right, welcome back to 5 Day Rentals as we put a bow on Double the Ass, Cut the Runtime.
Hey, put a bow
left-
on your statement, Bones.
Ooh.
Because it's time for the Hustler Minute. Guys, this is Claire.
Claire. Planet Claire. Perfect.
Exactly. Statistics on Claire are 34, 24, 34. She's 5'5", 115 pounds, born 1967. Hustler layout, September 1990. Claire was voted Hustler's 1990 Honey of the Year, and in doing so received more readers' votes than any honey in Hustler in 16 years.
Ooh, I'm licking my fingers.
She says she enjoys seeing how people react when they look at her naked.
That's body positive.
Claire's card is number 160. As always, for explicit one-on-one with other girls, you can call 1-800-775-5885. Phone lines are open. Guys, there's the back.
Fantastic.
All right.
I want to sweeten my tea. Kron, thank you for that. Even when you're under the weather, I know you've got the willpower to bring out the perv.
I can always look at nudes with my boys.
Well, let's continue on in the spirit of this category. Grip meets up with Eric to tell him that he has coordinated another deal with his supplier contacts. Eric wants to be more involved this time, though, and wants Chuck to go along with the pickup. If not, there's no deal. Chuck calls Susie. This is back in the day where you would call a lady and say, you know, we don't have continual text contact. I have to go away for a while, but I would like to call you again when I get back. Right? That's the way of saying, like, I'm not ghosting you, and don't you dare be sparring with any other dudes. All right?
It's a better time. Now you gotta send her 8 memes a day. It's too much.
Mm-hmm. And you can't send her like a funny Trump meme, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I know he's a piece of shit, but everything's computer is funny.
Yeah,
I'm trying to like,
funny.
I'm trying to like,
Yeah, let's find the silver lining together.
I'm trying to fight fascism in my own way, okay? The man's obsessed with the word groceries. That's funny. All right, Susie ends up following Chuck to this deal. It's up on this mountaintop. It's a beautiful little ceremony up here. There's drums being played. Chuck and Grip are being served like drinks and shit. At this point, did Chuck look like Bradley Cooper as John Holmes?
Which outfit is he wearing at this point?
This, I think he's like shirtless with a headband or something. Like he's trying to integrate into the ceremony.
Okay.
It seems a little, but like in that profile and in the eyes, I was like, there's some Bradley Cooper in there.
I can kind of see that.
It is believed that Darby Hinton, who plays Chuck, was cast because he did resemble adult film star John Holmes. who was very popular at this time.
I wonder why.
I could definitely see that.
I'll give you 10 inches why.
All right.
Man, what a crazy time to be like, you kind of look like a porn star. How would you like to be in our legitimate movie?
The complete opposite. Like, oh, hey, established porn star, you're going to have a second run in your career because you look like a lady running for vice president.
Mm-hmm. We couldn't get the real John Holmes because he's too busy fucking these days, so Robin, you can be in this film.
All right.
Well, you just said he was very popular.
81,
was.
yeah, but he doesn't last too long.
What was his Johnny Wad? Was that his
That
character?
might have been him.
And then what was Dirk Diggler's?
Well, there was
Chuck Connors and
there was Dirk Diggler and Chest Rockwell.
Chest Rockwell was John C.
John C.
Reilly's character's name, right?
Yeah.
But what was Dirk Diggler's character's name? Was it Brick?
Yeah.
Why does Brick?
Can't remember.
This going to be killer because they're pitching it in the back of in the back of the van.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's that great scene where Bert's like, "And do these two guys have names?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Brock Landers."
Yeah.
Brock Landers, and it like wipes over to John C. Reilly and Chest Rockwell, and fucking Bert just sits back. Those are great names. You guys stoked for that Leo PTA?
Looks pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that.
All right. The ceremony goes on. Susie's watching from the weeds. This helicopter shows up. It's got the goods. This is a fucking ordeal, man. Grip's got to run over. They make the swap. Turns out Susie got up here via dirt bike. When she tries to leave, though, she gets spotted by Eric's chick. Now, it's a miracle that Susie got up the mountain on this mountain bike because she is fucking terrible coming down.
Wrecks it instantly.
Instantly. Eric's chick.
Also, she has on a helmet that has like a little visor on it. Seems like that would be dangerous if you got into a wreck, right? Like if you hit the ground, it would instantly snap your neck backwards.
I mean, it snaps away.
When I was a kid, my ATV
Hers
helmet had a visor on it, and it was like it had give to it.
All right.
I think I understand what you're saying. You're like,
If it's rigid, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
like, if you hit face first, you're going to break your neck.
no, mine just had like two little plastic caps that held it in because you could pop it off to clean it and everything.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, she wrecks.
Let's hope hers is like that.
Yeah. I mean, it probably, when I rolled my four-wheeler, I mean, I'd already been hit in the head so many times from football and wrestling, so I'm sure it didn't help my issues. All right. She wrecks. Lady parks the car, gets out. She's holding Susie at gunpoint. Cut to inside of this car. Eric's chick is a cop, dudes. Lieutenant Juarez, undercover narcotics vision. And Susie, she is blown away. Policewoman? I don't have these fucking people in my country.
I hated that. I hated that for Eric, dude. That his lady is fucking going to betray him like that, dude.
What a bummer.
Mm-hmm. I knew his operation was working too smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got Chuck ripping grip off. He's losing guys constantly.
Yeah.
Now the chick give him his fucking insulin shots turns out to be a cop. She's not even a registered nurse. What the hell?
It's all falling apart.
From now on, we're going to call her LT or Juarez, not just Eric's girl. She knows everything about Susie: birthplace, birth date, martial arts history. She says that
how many black belts she has.
Mm-hmm. I heard you have 6.
Mm-hmm.
She's been undercover for a while. She doesn't know where Bonnie is. She couldn't risk warning Bonnie without having her blow her cover. But she will look into it further, but she makes Susie promise, obviously, you got to keep my shit on the down low. She's game. Chuck and Grip, their car gets attacked. These mortars start going off. Poor Grip. He just gives up so goddamn fast. Just comes out of the car with his hands up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it worked at the ravine or whatever, so why not try it here?
There's no river to jump into.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to warn you guys, like with a timestamp on this scene, that the goons that open fire on them come down this hill, and there is one guy who is just hauling so much ass. He is so into this. He wants to be the first one there. I was legitimately frightened for this performer.
Dude's trying to get a second movie role, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe next time he can have a speaking part, you know?
Yeah. Cut to Eric just chewing into Chuck and Grip. All right. Once again, assignments. Chuck, you got to find out who ripped them off. And Grip, you got to apply for fucking net 30 credit terms with these suppliers. All right? Like, come on, dude. And later that night, Juarez, she asks more questions about the upcoming deal. She wants to know if, I think this is when they're playing chess, actually. If she asks Eric if he thinks that Grip will figure out or try to prove that Chuck has been behind the ripoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, at this point, you now realize like she's just proxy for the viewer. She's just like there to help kind of remind you of this little unnecessarily complicated plan of action. But then when you realize, oh, she's an undercover cop, that sort of all makes sense too. That she would be fucking prying all the time.
Yeah.
Juarez meets with our police officer, Tony. Did you notice the fucking beautiful heels he's wearing on these boots?
No.
Oh, man. He's got 4-inch heels.
Hell yeah.
She doesn't have too much to share, though, but she does direct Tony to go talk to a guy named Chin. He knows about Bonnie. All right, it turns out that Juarez was right about having Tony go to Chin because they were able to find Bonnie's body in a river. He has Susie come with him, identify the body. Susie freaks out. She starts running through town in the rain. You're
telling me this kid was hit by a semi-truck? He's in perfect shape.
Didn't I complain about that on like somebody got hit by a car and I was like, not really.
It was in what was it? Terror on the Highway or
what it's
called? Yeah. Revenge on the Highway.
A Heartbreak on the Highway.
Mm-hmm.
This was no boating accident. All right. Susie makes her way to Chuck's. He must live on a really, really high floor because when she busts through his door, she's bone dry. He's been in there playing with his knives.
Did you guys see that like Selma Hayek video where she's in the like swimming pool? You should watch it, of course. But it's like her hair doesn't get wet. I mean, there's two other great reasons to watch that video.
Is it AI?
No, it's her like Instagram or something.
Maybe they covered her hair in Gel Max or whatever.
It's just
Doing a burn later that day.
Is it backed up? Is it like backwards? Did they reverse the footage?
I don't think so.
Was it backed up? Was it... Fucking brain's backed up.
Did she actually do a front flip and they made it look like a 12-foot backflip?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I don't think Salma Hayek's ever done a backflip.
was she holding a cobra?
No. I won't touch fuck cobras, dude. I'm out.
I'd touch one.
Susie
Fuck that.
runs into Chuck's arms. She cries, "Hold me."
I'm 6 feet from here.
Now, before she busted in,
Has the Creed thing got out of control?
What, you singing it almost every episode?
No, it's just like everywhere now.
I think it's been everywhere for, I mean, I guess there was a dip in the 2000s.
it's been everywhere
There's a
since
big fucking dip, bro.
It was everywhere when we were in high school.
And then it died.
I think people still held it in their hearts, though. You know, Creed would be, oh, I'm 7 beers deep at this bar. I'm going to put on Creed.
Never in my life have I said that. And I've been 7 beers deep a lot of times. And I've never been like, Creed.
All right, well, maybe you found something in A or B that called to you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
ABBA.
I see Creed. We're hitting fucking touch tunes, baby. Let's go. Whole bar's listening.
Creed has always verged on parody for me, so even when I bought Weathered and like listened to Bullets and I was like, this is pretty fucking badass. As soon as you get to the ballads, you're like, I see the fun in this. It's fucking goofy. It's not my favorite band, but the guitarist is good and can come up with fucking riffs and the shit's catchy. So I think it's just, it's bouncing back because people our age, like, the world fucking sucks. So I think there's some nostalgia with it. I think it's also, these things have a tendency to bounce back when people have a little bit of money and they can go to fucking concerts, right? Like, and when our parents were our age, the bands that they listened to, they were doing their, you know, this is Foreigner saying, this is our last tour. We're in our 60s. We're going to die soon. Not expecting to keep going for another 20 years. So the fact that Creed is like, they're all pushing fucking 50. It's like, well, 50 is a new 35. Let's sell 1 million tickets. Why not?
Yeah, but I feel like even if you, because I kind of get that Creed is almost parody, or like your enjoyment of it is somewhat tongue in cheek. But
yeah,
it's like if you just pull them up on Spotify, like how many millions of streams do they? Like, even if it is that for most people, like, I don't know if it necessarily matters at the end of the day. They're moving records, getting downloads and shit.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a lot of dudes that didn't know who the fuck Creed was, and now all of a sudden, which is fine. That's your thing. That's your thing. But it just seems like it's everywhere.
I also think, we're, Kron, you're a little bit younger, but I think your sensibility touches into this. Dan and I are older millennials, like the transitional millennial. So I still associate a lot of stuff with Gen X culture, but we're in the like upper stage of meme culture. Like, we've transitioned to like home family computer on dial-up, but now can maintain with meme culture, and Creed has been something that has like sort of bridged that. Limp Bizkit was the same way. Like, always verged on parody, but it's like, God damn, Wes can write a fucking riff, man. Like, this is...
That's also another band that's like, I would say, had a dip and then came back pretty damn strong in the last however many years.
Like, Bloodhound Gang is purposely parody, but it's technically pretty good. So people feel weird about it, right? Where I feel like Creed, you might throw on your car and you'd be like, I'm having fun, but I'm not laughing about this right now. Whereas if you're 7 beers deep and you and your buddies are 6 feet from the edge, you know, it's kind of... I think that's a positive thing, right?
Yeah.
Do I think they'll ever get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I would be surprised if they do. But
I guess if you're a person of a certain age, it's like a shared cultural touchstone. I mean, I feel like that shit was super popular when we were in high school.
yeah.
I had Human Clay.
We all
had
did.
that CD.
We all did, Kron. And when Human Clay came out, there was always like that one guy in the group that was like, oh, dude, I've known about them since my own prison and shit, right?
I had
And then
my own prison.
What's that?
I said I had my own prison.
Yeah. But then their ability to bridge, because you'd have like the kid in your group that was like the Christian kid in the Midwest. That's how he knew about them. So they've weirdly picked, like they've just dropped into, like they played the fucking Super Bowl and became a meme. And they, you know, he got sued for being hammered and doing snow angels on the stage.
I feel like everybody, like at that age, everybody just got to their early to mid 20s and everyone was collectively like, we're too cool for Creed.
Yeah.
And then they rolled into their mid 30s and they were like, you know what, Creed was all right.
They are the New Balance shoes of rock music. Right? Yeah, these are fucking comfortable. These work. And then somebody goes, dude, this is fucking guy's wearing New Balance. You know, oh shit, I can't wear New Balance anymore. And then you get to a certain age and you're like, God damn, I gotta get me some fucking New Balance.
I don't think they're that reliable.
New Balance or Creed?
Creed, not New Balance.
Well, I don't know.
You know,
I think
there's
New
some right
Balance
leaning.
is like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
We can argue about it, but
No.
go
You
go
think
look at
Chili
our
Peppers are like Saucony's or some shit.
Yeah.
why don't you go look at our shared Spotify playlist and see how much Creed is on there?
I would say the Red Hots are like a fucking Converse high top. They're cool, but after a while, they're like, this is not very comfortable. My foot's my fucking my toes are all cramped and shit. Yeah. All right. Of course, we start a 20-minute tangent about Creed right before the sex scene of this movie.
I'm trying to edge the listener a little.
Okay. Guys, Chuck isn't just a guy that's going to take off a chick's clothes. No. He's going to carry you to the bed. He's going to pull out his blades, slowly cut off your one pair of pants that you brought to the Philippines.
What's she gonna wear home?
This is just not cool, dude.
That's the way of saying, oh, you're staying the night.
Yeah, but she gotta leave at some point.
Now, Dan, at our previous buds,
You did this to the bones.
you gave us, as a token of friendship, some knives. And I want to apologize for misunderstanding what you were trying to get us to do to you. I promise to not let you down if we ever meet up again.
It's highly disappointed.
I will cut off your panties. I'll let Kron do the pants.
And I'm thonging it, so it's going to be a pretty easy cut.
I'm going to slip a little, too.
Well, you assume it's an easy cut if I go from the waistband.
Nah, we're cutting the thong in half, dude.
I'm cutting at the taint.
Strip.
I'm cutting at the taint.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's her turn. But she just doesn't reciprocate. She backhands the shit out of him, knocks him off the bed. And again,
you cut up all my clothes.
Chuck's like, God damn, I'm kind of fucking into this. He stands up on the bed. She gets awfully close with that knife, cutting his pants off. They start going at it. She's on top of him. I can feel
he's not wearing undies.
I can feel the blood pulse inside your head. Which one? It's fucking hot.
Gotta be the dick, right?
Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
A 10-inch head.
Well, he looked like John Holmes, dude. He wasn't.
He looked like John Holmes, and his dick did too, but he was 9 inches of head and 1 inch of pecker.
And cocaine soft.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to Eric chewing out Chuck for Bonnie's body being found. He's like, what? I kill in the arena. I'm not. What's the line in Snatch? I create the bodies. I don't erase the bodies.
What do I want a fucking caravan? Ain't got no fucking wheels.
Grip doesn't want this heat to mess up the meeting with his suppliers, right? I got guys with fucking fezzes coming in. These are serious dudes.
These are the real drug kingpins.
You said
See
fez.
Hat with a little tassel on it.
This chick that's our lead, she dated the Fonz, right? Like in...
Huh?
I think I read that this lady dated the Fonz in... what was the fucking show? Good Times? Not Good Times.
Happy Days?
Happy Days. I think she was the Fonz's girlfriend in Happy Days.
Hey. What song would she start singing when he hit her?
Ring my bell.
Nah, that's a good pull.
Creed. Sounded
Look
like
at
gibberish
me.
sounded like gibberish to them, though.
Well, they hated it, but their kids would love it.
Mm-hmm.
Juarez meets with Officer Tony at Pete's place, warns them about the upcoming meeting, and that Chuck killed Bonnie. Susie is shocked as shit. What? Tony warns Susie, though, not to act, but she takes off anyway. Our boy Ray, he goes off after her. They go to Chuck's place. Chuck's not there. She starts looking around, though. Pretty quickly, she finds some jewelry. Tony calls the boys, but Bruno has followed Lieutenant Juarez into Pete's place. Tony tries to stop Bruno, but Bruno takes a hostage. He shoots this hostage in the back when she tries to flee. He then kills the lieutenant when she attacks him. Tony, despite, being fucking off balance with his heels, he's able to kill Bruno before holding the lieutenant in her arms, or in his arms, as she dies. Susie calls Eric. She wants in on the death fight. Good. I knew you wouldn't be able to resist the challenge. She says, but it's got to be on my terms. Grip lets Eric know that the suppliers have arrived. Chuck jumps Grip and his bodyguard in the hallway. Fucking quickly takes out the bodyguard. Grip goes running down the stairs, but Chuck, he's a master with these things, dude. We've seen him cut panties. right in Grip's back.
I mean, it seems like it kills Grip, right? Because he's not in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he did.
But he just threw 2 knives into his shoulder blades.
Yeah, some are weaker than others, man.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Grip. Grip probably already had a weak heart from all the shootouts he'd been in and stuff, so.
And heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it cross-contaminated. Still has that bodyguard's blood on it.
Yeah.
Maybe that guy.
AIDS.
Yeah.
Okay.
It usually doesn't work that fast, but jump right to that.
Could have knocked him out from the heroin coursing through his body.
All right. Eric now meets with the suppliers, and he's like, yep, I pulled off all this shit just so I could cut Grip out and deal directly with you. These guys are
This guy loves heroin.
These
so
guys are
much, dude.
impressed.
So much work to eliminate one man.
We cut to the fights. Eric lets his new VIPs in. He lets them know that it's a very special night. It's the first night a woman will be fighting in our arena. Susie shows up. Just like the beginning of the movie, she's got 3 potential opponents to choose from.
Guys, when we're done, we can walk right through that door and have a nice 5-course meal together.
After I bet against the woman.
Mm-hmm. The fights aren't as intense over there, but
those are come-down fights.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, they start their demonstration, but just as Chuck comes in, Susie's like, I'm not fighting any of them. I want him. My terms, remember? Chuck's like, what? What is this? He's so confused.
Is this a buffet? Or is this a fighting place? Like, what is
You
this?
got your 7th black belt? What? How are you in here?
Where did you get more clothes?
What is this? She pulls out that jewelry that she found at his place. She says, Bonnie's my sister. She hits him. He's like, hey, I don't want to fight you. She hits him again. He's like, it's got to be a better way. She starts pulling out her harness sticks, starts beating the shit out of him. He kicks her from the ground, though, and eventually gets a stick. They start going at it. Outside, the police show up. Ray's on his motorcycle. He's like, fuck this. He just rides his dirt bike through the glass into the arena. Someone warns the suppliers that the police are all out there. They try to take off. Ray's beating the shit out of a bunch of dudes in the bleachers. Tony, he gets some of these suppliers. Eric sees Ray taking out goons. He tries to sneak away. Ray makes his way after him. They're in the corridors of the administrative area. Ray's kicking ass along the way. It's good fights, man. It's good choreography. He's got kind of like a, I think these are my review notes, like a Jet Li meets Tony Jaa vibe. Like he's got that Tony Jaa sort of like aggressiveness, but he's smooth, you know? I get the sense that Chuck, they're really trying to do, it's like, oh, he's got like the body of Bruce Lee and the face of Chuck Norris, so he'll merge the two markets.
Mm-hmm. You think they're trying to like 4-quadrant? Like,
yeah,
we'll get every action lover in the audience with this thing.
Yep. And the sickos.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ray's got a sword at this point from one of the goons. He's got Eric in the corner, about to stab him, but Tony stops him. I want him. Back to Susie and Chuck in the arena, still going at it. Chuck has Susie in the corner. He's got his knives to her throat, but he can't do it. He'll cut panties, but he can't cut her throat.
It's the power of a woman.
Dude's in love. No
That's
chick,
power love.
no chick ever made his head pulse like that.
Don't need no credit card.
Susie keeps at him. He keeps throwing her around, though. And again, this floor is just so fucking filthy. She starts getting woozy. Her head's knocked up against the cage. But she's got a move here, dude. She does a fucking combo. She rolls towards him. She grabs his stick. It's a quick pop to the knee. When he's off balance, it's a quick pop to the nuts. He grabs those. 2 shots to the ribs. She goes for the head, but he grabs the stick. She lifts the stick, both of his hands up. His solar plexus are exposed. Quick kick. He goes fucking back. He's recoiling in pain. He fucking sells this dude. Like, he is fucking hurt. She grabs the second stick. She jumps up into the air, comes down on his stomach again, and with the ends of those sticks, drives one each into his fucking eyes. Bam. She drops the sticks. She walks away. That's the end of Firecracker, 1981. That was a cool effect, right?
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I mean, at least they had a good ending.
Gentlemen, upon further research, this was released in May 1981. No budget info, no box office info. At the cinema that month, you could catch Outland, Polyester, and Bustin' Loose. One of the 2 martial arts films to feature the actress Julian Keschner, who is seen during the early 1980s. The other was Raw Force from 1982, the following year.
Whoa,
which
I've seen that movie.
I've logged, and I do not remember. Did we do that at a?
You, me, and Chad watched that together.
Okay, I was wondering if that was a jihad, because I was like, I don't remember watching that movie.
Yeah.
Movie trailers for the films declared this picture to be the first erotic martial arts thriller, as Bones said. Roger Corman felt the actress Julian Keschner's sexiness wasn't exploited enough when he saw the film, the first cut. So he hired a dude to add in our nudity here. So the fight scene where she's topless and the lovemaking scene where she gets her stuff cut off.
Her clothes.
I mean,
Clothes.
2 most memorable scenes in the movie, so Corman was on to something.
She was irritated because there seemed to be more men on the set that day than usual. She wasn't happy about it, but she did it. Bug spray was used to simulate mist in one scene.
That's pure deep.
Pros and cons, I guess.
Probably didn't hurt, you know. The film is known in the English language markets and other territories under 2 titles, Firecracker and Naked Fist. And that's all I got for Firecracker from 1981.
I think Naked Fist is the more provocative title.
It's pretty cool.
But
Break my box.
all right. Fellas, Kron, you locked me in at a 3.0. Dan, you went a little higher, 3.5. What you guys got?
I'm going to give Dan 2.5.
Kron Howard, I'm going to stay on that train with you, 2.5. Bones?
Kron 2.5, Dan 2.0.
All right, guys, I'll go first here. Firecracker, I mean, we can call it a little bit of a flu game. First time I tried to watch this, fell asleep several times, woke up. Julie was just fighting more people. Came back to this 2 days later. I found out that's kind of what the movie is. She just goes from attack to attack and, keeps having to fight her way out of it. There are a couple memorable scenes, like having the nudity in there for Corman's credit, I guess. Like that does stick out. That does make the movie memorable. The end does have a good effect. But honestly, for the most of the runtime, I was just kind of like, it's like a C-level actioner. I'm not really getting much out of it. Like, if I wanted to watch some kind of, kung fu style fighting stuff, I think I could think of movies I like a lot more than this. So that stuff to me was kind of middle of the road. The movie's not bad. It just it didn't do much for me. I think ultimately I'm like a 2.0 on Firecracker. It's not terrible. It's just, I think there's better action stuff out there and there's better erotic stuff out there. So I guess it's novel that they combined the two genres, but I don't know if it worked.
All right, guys. Firecracker, 1981, directed by Sergio H. Santiago. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but touche. All right, not bad. Got a ton of kung fu here. Ass-kicking kung fu. I like how every conflict and every solution in this movie ends with kung fu. Like, that's going to be, that's coming. So ass kicking to the extreme here. I kind of wish we would have had her friends more involved, like the bartender. Like maybe he fought in the ring of death and shit. I thought that would have been kind of cool to see. I think the ending kind of spins out. I think the eye smash is pretty fucking cool. But, yeah, you're getting a lot of the repetitiveness of just kung fu here. Big ups to this director. He was hiring black leads and other nationalities as leads before a lot of people. Worked in the Philippines a lot. Based off of our category, it needs just a little bit more ass. I'll say that. Just a little bit more. I'm going 2.5. Like I said, it's a good time. If it had just a little bit more ass, I think I would have bumped it up a little.
It was a gamble. This was an early option for me. And after going through some things which were 90% ass, I thought, yeah, but would my heart be in it? And I feel comfortable with the move I made because, like Kron pointed out in his review, some things you can mix, right? Some things you can't. Now, I do think there's a scenario where you can make a movie that is substantially better action and far better ass, or more ass, double the doubled ass. But to its credit, I think the fact that this bad boy is 77 minutes, which is what the other part of the category required, for 77 minutes, this thing just absolutely cooks. And it sheds what it needs to shed to be satisfying. I think it's a solid flow of action and fighting. I never really felt bored. I never felt blown away by anything. But I legit liked that our main actress, I didn't get the sense that she was a Cynthia Rothrock or a Michelle Yeoh. I thought she's pretty capable. I think there's interesting and diverse stuff in all of the fights, whether it's a guy getting impaled or a guy through a miter saw, a cobra being used, sticks through the eyes. I found that they kept things fresh enough. Overall, the story, it's super simple. It has to remind you quite a bit of what's going on. But again, it drops a lot of that other weight. Dan, I do agree. Maybe you thicken this thing out 20 minutes and you add a subplot with, Ray lost a brother in the arena and Pete used to fight for them. I think those are solid options. A little bit more of what Bonnie was into. It's always hard to judge acting when you've got ADR and dubs, but I will say this was more than serviceable and added joy. Like, I never felt that they were detrimental. I got all of the information in the dialogue. It was like clear, and every time Eric spoke, I had a smile on my face. Chuck is kind of an odd role in general. He's supposed to be this hardened fighter killer. I get him falling for this chick. I do think there could have been in a cut of this that's 20 minutes longer. There's something to bridge, like why he would have her by the throat and let her go. I get it, but I don't think it's just to kind of keep it moving. The puppy love stuff on a killer for hire is always kind of goofy. It's kind of tough to pull off. My quick list here, some quick pluses. The electronic score full of knockoffs is incredible. It goes from not fitting at all, and then magically it's like the film knows, like, we're going to catch up. Just stick with us on this electronic, like, Devo B-52 score. We'll get there. Pete launching dudes in a bar fight in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Come on. The bummer being that there's no more Pete after the first 15 minutes of the movie. Ray is a superstar. If I get into my negatives, give me more Pete. And I will say, give me more Tony and his high heels running around, shooting people with that leather jacket. Give the cops some credit, man. They've been working this case for a while. It's not breaking any new ground. I know I've gone on quite a while, but I had a real fun time with this, and I actually wanted to take down some notes for once. This is a 3.5 for me. I will take the notes and the negative on the category, and did not expect anything higher than a 2 from either of you. So 3.5.
Soundtrack was banger. Yes.
Yeah, I think they lifted a song right out of Shogun Assassin,
Yeah.
which was pretty crazy to hear. All right, guys, Firecracker would have an average score from the three of us of 2.67. This would end up at number 117 on the big list. This would currently be tied with Brain Scan. And those two movies would currently be right below The Cell at 116 and right above Never Too Young to Die at 119.
Ooh, that's a rough weekend. Not a lot of flow there.
I could kind of see The Cell and Brain Scan. That's like it's almost like a fun take on the same general premise.
Yeah, you get some pairs there.
Yeah, like a weird little technology thing going on.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, and you add in the RAM K. I mean, that's tech.
let's not overstay our welcome. Double the ass, cut the runtime. What did we have on this bad boy? We had Double Threat, Game of Pleasures, Firecracker. Kron, what's your fuck, marry, kill?
I mean, guys, it's double the ass, cut the runtime. You make an exception. Fuck all three of these movies.
Ooh.
That's my answer.
I think I'm fucking Double Threat. I'm marrying Firecracker, and I'm killing Game of Pleasure.
I think I'm killing Double Threat. fucking game of pleasure marrying Firecracker.
There you have it.
I'm glad Game of Pleasure got a
Fuck.
yeah, a little extra nod there.
All right.
I mean, it is a weird movie.
It
it
is.
This is a weird category.
63 minutes. Get in, get out. Yeah, I had a terrible time, but I had to watch it twice. All right, let's get out of here. Kron, I know you're feeling down this week. Thanks for pushing through. You got to get your fluids back in you, buddy, because next week
I'm going to be losing them again.
PI3, baby.
Rawr.
Is this a subtitle? Has this got anything?
The new seduction.
A new seduction. Jamie Priestley. Hard body. Hard, tight body.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you, buddy. For Kron Howard, for Laundry Dan, I've been Bones. Crash and burn.
Crash and burn.
What is your porpoise here in Olongapo? Crash and burn.